They wanna chete gomna Volt 104.3 FM. Afamba nti Chinazo. Adinege Odenimbo. Iwatago Taka isi Mia. And tate nwelumunu a very special guest. Aduman. Umapu onye ando onye nkai. Or an in-house ando onye. Iwatago no onye mama. Obro onye ofo. So no was in Keta Aige. Who consequences of ignoring red flags. Consequences of ignoring red flags. And you who agree with me in when with a good young, with see any fab if a mother na fool before, but no decide na organ manage me on onya mecha and will change. So in the house today, and when my guest of honor,
We're going to marry her red flags. Okay, can I put only a butu? In my ego banana channel red or danger. So red flags is that those things. Oga born me. In my more red flags, many people are taking interest in relationships. And they treat them majorly for people before they go into marriage. I say the red flags to look after is if this guy is abusive, if this guy is this. But nke abụrụzi before no one. Nke abụzi ndị not together ma no ma nọ na relationship na-akwado ọnụnụ. So ka ihe bụ those things bụ those dangers. O kwesịrị ịbụ ịfụ iwe ike si mba ka anyị gbagodi break. Mana this time around, some people fear ha continue kwa. So ọkazie njọ o butewezie all manner of things. Ọkwana ihe ndị ahụ na-ebute ka anyị bịara ikwu tata. Kedu ihe bụ the reason why and ihe bụ consequence bụ ihe bụ ọghọm dị na ọ bụrụ na ignore ihe ndị ahụ a na-egosikwana gị.
and ọ bụ na ị nụrụ ihe ọ kọwara gị na ọ bụrụ sọsọ na relationships ka a na-enwe red flag. So na ife nghọta, it can be from a workplace,
Yeah.
ọ ga-abụ from your neighbor, ọ ga-abụ from anybody, ọ bụrụ just when ị nọ na relationship or marriage. So the first thing m ga-ajụ gị bụ ke consequences of ịfụ red flag and ịgba nkịtị.
Okay. It depends what we are treating. So if we are talking about strictly towards marriage, because if it concerns workplace, and we're different red flags there. So we actually have to channel it. Which aspect are we treating? So that in the get one thing I got that very well. But not towards marriage or relationship, I'm gonna say that one of the things that can be a problem is escalation of abuse. And this abuse starts verbal. It begins with
Ịkọ ọnụ.
ịkọ ọnụ. Nwoke kpọọ nwaanyị akpọ ha continue na-akọ onwe ha ọnụ. Ọ bụrụ nwoke mejọrị na-akọ kebe. Ọ bụrụkwanụ nwaanyị na-akọ.
Ọ na ha na-abụ
na-abụ na-akọ onwe ha. Anọkata mmadụ asị gị onye abụkwa spek. Onye ka anyị ewekwana anything in common, ọ dịkwa necessary. So mgbe ọbụla ha na-abụ na ọ bụrụ ịkọ ọnụ ise okwu, ọ na-ebido n'izizi na-egosikwa. Ọ bụkwa n'ebe a na-arụ ọrụ the same thing. Emekwa m experience of recent kwa. So you notice na onye ahụ i were ọrụ, onye ka ị na-arụ at a time when I were understanding. So sometimes I say, can I just ignore ya? And why di?
ka manage
Ka manage bia. And ọ bụ na ebe a na-arụ ọrụ ị manage be, ha ga-enwe unproductivity. And this unproductivity will limit the income of that organization or company or business. So bụkwa nọ na marriage akọkata m etibe ife. Most cases before ete ife akọgo ọnụ. So mana mgbe a na-akọ ọnụ a ga-ignore were ife anyị ji akpọrọ. Mgbe m na-akwadokwa ọnụ di na nwunye ha reject kwa m ofu. Emekwa na ọkọgo m ọnụ nwanda ọsị m nwande mma gị ụra. One of those days mkpọ ya si nna thank God na ọ ka bụkwa.
ka bụgbo
Ọ ka bụkwa n'oge n'iwe wena gị. Iwe were gị na m emechego. So nkwụsịba n'oge ọkwa ya ka a na-akpọ red flags na ndị otu ya. So ọ bụrụ na mbanye n'ime ya ọma mbụzikwa ọnụ ka ya na-akọzi.
Yes, one day ọmachapụghị ya bụ ụra.
Eze adapụ.
All right, so kita I differentiate because a lot of us na-eche na red flag will just relationships, marriage, or when you are in the home. So really, red flag can be among siblings.
Exactly.
It can be among parents. It can be among onye gị na ya bi n'ụlọ as roommates or your neighbor. Now let's first of all face Gudu. nke dị n'ụlọ.
Mm.
Right? Ka I face it from the home, because ihe njụsị ka face it from the home bụ enwere m ike nna aga ọrụ mbata mụ na gị ebiro n'ụlọ ifụwata. Ọ bụ na nna anọ n'ụlọ Saturday Sunday, I don't have to see you. So before the okwu office escalate, nke ụlọ na-ebu ụzọ escalate.
That's true.
You understand? So biko ka ị kọwala anyị, at what point ka abuse na-esi from ịgba nkịtị to physical form? Ịmago dịka silence, o nwere ike ọ bụ na ofu one of the partners bụ nke dị abusive, nke ọzọ bụ nke na-agba nkịtị. Maybe ka anyị wee ya nọ nke nwaanyị, because asị na nwaanyị na-adị submissive. So ka anyị wee ya nọ nke nwoke bụ ife n'aka, dịka ka anyị were nke gị as an example.
Okay.
Na m ga-ama ndị mma gị ụra ga-enwe agba nkịtị. Inye gị example na ikweri ka ọ banye na marriage. Ka anyị wezie na nke onye abago na marriage, at what point ka onye ahụ ga-ama na one day na ọ ga-amụ ya ụla? Kedu at what point ka onye ahụ agbakọta nkịtị dịzịa physical?
Onye a na-amanụ.
Onye a na-amanụ, yes, na because ya amakọtakwu one day machapụzia ya dị ụla. One day o nwere ike escalate. At what point? Kedu mgbe ọ ga-abụ onye ahụ ruo ma na ife apụbago aka?
Ịma na this thing bụkwa na two-way thing. Ma onye na-ama ma onye a na-ama kwesịkwa ka ọ mara na nwando onye a na-ama ga-ama. Ịghọtago? Ịma na enwe m a particular client na-deal with recently is physical abuse. Ihe bụtakwana ya bụ nwoke bụ ihe dịbụ mbụ abuse na-eti. O ruzi one day nwaanyị agbakọtago nkịtị. O si one day na ọ ga-agbakọta this man nkịtị, man eche na ọ bụ efu. Ihe o mezbụ osie mmiri ọkụ chere. The man natazie baa ka o si abịa maa ya ụra, o buru the mmiri ọkụ dị na kettle wụọ ya. Nke pụta na news bụ mmiri ọkụ, mana ihe mere nwaanyị apụtara. So anya na-emegbukwa gbarụ nkịtị. Ọ bụrụkwa na ọ na-agba nkịtị per se, sometimes ọ na-agba nkịtị na-ayọ Chineke ka ọ mara na onye ọ ga-agbanwe. I think this person is going to change after some time. It's not that the silence is weakness, because ọ bago bụ na ọ bago. So sometimes I feel if I'm silent, I'm praying. If I'm silent, I'm ignoring, knowing that I can handle this. Ọgakatazoruze mgbe ọma handle wuzikwa ya. That's why ma onye na-ama ma onye a ga-ama kwesịrị ịdị very careful at that stage.
Alright, so ọ bụ na nghọta ihe ikwu, or let's ka anyị kpakịrị nkata ka ọ ga ị na-achịkọwa that na nwaanyị a na-threaten imago in her head na onwego this picture. The picture na-abịa before the abuse, because mmadụ ma amụra one day ahụ mma na-eche ọkwa mmakwara onye ụra ka ọ ga-adị. Does it come ọ na-abịa as at that time onye ahụ kwado, ka ọ na-abịa from the point onye ahụ bido nwetebe the abuse?
Okay.
The pictorial image of ife ga-eme this man.
At the moment the person is started, those pictures are not at the mindset or imaginations of the person, or they were frequent. On are the frequent, on are no kata, on are flashes.
Okay.
So those flashes, you just imagine I just killed him.
Okay.
I imagine I would just kill her. Some people imagine, okay, this is this lady actually in peace, or may imagine cheating on her. Sometimes guys they bring wife, but I don't know when you have fear, or may imagine for long before may physically. So only make those things. That's why I say out of the heart, abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks.
Yeah.
So go here or make imagine. So by the time in Amora or taste and my abuse and all that, sometimes honor alone, or not somebody they very, very toxic. And one catch butter or why no near no butter give to be obia. Sometimes children will even come and give you that kind of suggestion. Mommy, are you still watching Daddy? Or Daddy, how long would you watch Mommy? So he be the picturize. We just they'll picture it in their mind. Can't I do something about this? And the person now more. Sometimes they feel it says she's silent. So so I think that gave bring it was quite the beating aspect. And then sometimes only script from the circle they keep.
Oh, background.
Background. Almost an abusive relationship. And that's why we actually advocate for healing. You have to heal from trauma, childhood trauma. Some things those senior puta and didn't take time to heal from it. They just transfer it to the relationships or the marriage. And we call it transgenerational trauma. So Buba gear into that particular relationship or continue quite the same. Says the father beats the wife. Who are you to talk to me? My father beats my mom anyhow. So bring a queer in or continue say.
Because all galumpia. Okay, feeling all gagahuri, you
So why
understand?
some other persons but friends? Obiabon or say, oh, is it your wife that you spoke with now? Say yes. I said, oh, if it's mine, before you could say I'm go mi aura. Or again and kitty.
Yes.
So these two things can actually be a problem. And if it doesn't, we don't deal with it from the root, we can actually solve the problem.
All right. So that brings me to the next question. Onye na-agba nkịta the suicidal when on a face see suicide, abuse, physical abuse. The person are the suicidal.
When it comes to being suicidal, it takes a whole lot of words because the words on its own is deep. Somebody might be going through a whole lot, but it's not suicidal. And the question is, does it mean to be suicidal? To be suicidal is the ability or that case has gotten to you wishing to take your life. And sometimes it's not about taking substance. Because whatever you imagine, one day it becomes a reality. So it begins with image. I think I have to end it. But it's not everyone who goes through abuses that is suicidal. There are persons that they are going through this, they just want to be out, but they don't know how to be out. Why there are persons, when they've gone, silence and isolation comes in. At this stage, they are always on their own. It has called for an attention. It's calling for somebody to look into it. At this stage, the person is looking for a way to just get rid of his or her life. Let me just live. Why there are another person that is going through that but is more resilient? This person is more resilient. Is not talking about taking his or her life. This person feels, I think I will go through. This person is focused on purpose, but actually don't know how to go about it. So they are just bearing it, but they are not suicidal, but they are depressed. And that depression, if it's not well taken care of, will lead to suicide eventually.
Okay. The reason why I asked this question, but that now I sent you a video of a woman that multi-stabbed the husband. I'm not for that video.
My dear.
Now that video you drug na mother and this suicidal at some point because of Ifonia and Gabiga abuse and they are abused physically. But maybe at that point the person may feel just like you said, Morocco gets still live the marriage, right? So kama m gaa na ebe a nwoke a egbuo m ka m gbuo onwe m. At some point ọ na-atọ nzi kama m egbuo onwe m ka m gbuo nwoke a.
Yes. Some of them, Emma, let me explain something. You know, mental health challenges is something that affects our mind, affects our emotions, eventually affects our behavior. So this person has actually been, let's call it, this person has been hiding her feeling. Let's use the lady. Hiding her feeling over time. Oh, you cheated on me. You treated it like a normal thing. You come back to her again, you cheat again. It's building up images. And one of the things it does is that it reduces the worth of that lady. And the next thing that comes is low self-esteem, confidence, anxiety come because every time she's in this kind of condition that I don't know if he's going to cheat again. And you keep doing it. One of those days, she just comes to the point, I just want to go. I want to take my life. Some other time she feels like, if I take my life, this guy will continue living. And continue doing this and treating another lady like that.
And meanwhile, he's
okay?
not the innocent
and,
of...
And innocent of this. So what I will do is, I will kill him, kill myself. Or let me just kill him and go and spend that time in prison. So some of them comes to the point that the only thing they feel is the solution is to kill the spouse and go to prison. And they're just comfortable with that. So let me just go spend my time in prison. Some of them prefers prison. That's a mental health challenged. This mental health is already challenged. This person feels prison is better for me. So that's why it's a challenge, because it's not normal. So it comes to a point where the person that is being abused, that has been silent, can decide, because at this stage it's suicidal. But at this stage, it's not being suicidal to take her own life.
Life.
But can we just end it? If I leave this man, he will do this to another woman. So let me end it. Why some other men, when it comes to the men, because we've had the news over the weeks now, the men cutting off hand, doing this. So some of them, these are anger problem that let me call it unmanaged emotional outburst. People live with it from, that's why I mentioned childhood. So they didn't work on it. Just like people are in a relationship, you notice that there is a character you need to work on. You ignore them. Some of those negative habits, they bring it in. Oh, the person that just called you is who now? So this is what we call personality disorders. So this person have a case of, what do you call it? This person is always looking after problem issues. It's not even right. But them, they don't even know it's a problem they should look into to work on. So they keep counting on those faults until fault escalates to become something.
Alright, so before I go n'iru, cheta na onye anyị na ya bụ Mrs. Joy Energy. Alright, Director Jofat. And tupu anyị aga n'iru, biko ncheta na ihe ebe a special edition Odenigbo. Ihe nje wetala unu ya bụ hapụkwa na anyị na-anụ ihe na social media. Ị na-ege m ntị, onye ọbụla na-ege m ntị, ama m na one of us or two of us or many of us na-agabiga through things like this na ezinụlọ anyị. Emechaa ka ga-emetụta aka the red flags among the family members, ma n'ọfịs so ma ndị neighbor. Mana ihe nji ekwu nke a anyị so ka anyị wetagodu nke ezinụlọ a bụ na ọ dị rampant, like the thing dị everywhere. Nwoke anaghị agba ọkụ ayobepụ aka, nwaanyị na-awụ fuel na-eme nka. So ọ bụrụ sọ ụmụ nwoke, ụmụ nwaanyị na-agakwa through the same thing. And taking life, ndị ọbụrụ gị nwanyelu mmadụ, who are you? But then let's talk about emotions, because ife a niile bụ emotions. Otu a love si a drive mmadụ ịchọ ime all the best things in life for the person. Otu a ka hatred for onye inwekwa drive gị to do whatever ị chọrọ ime bụ ihe ọjọọ to the person ka onye afukene the pain. I think the right emotion is pain.
Yeah.
The right emotion bụ the pain. So ka anyị na-aga ka ị na-atụgharị obi gị biko ọ bụ na o nwere onye ịma na-agabiga through this. Let me tell you, a lot of people na-aga through abuse. Na akọrọ gị bụ na ịmarọ. Until one day, maybe their own apụtazie ife. Ị ga-asị ọkwa neighbor gị na ha nọ na ịmarọkwa na ụdị ife a na-eme ma ọ na ọ dị eme. Ọ bụ na ị na-ege m ntị and ị na-achọ somebody to talk to, na Mrs. Joy ene ọ nọ ebe a. Before na m ga-drọpụrụ unu phone number ya. Biko nu, ọ dị very important. Ndụ a na-atọkwa m ka sugar. Nnọkọta mfu ndị na-ewe their life, I wonder. Ihe na-eche bụ na agbọ ha agbọ ka esi n'eluigwe tụda aha. Aghọtara m how this life, yes, Nigeria drama, but then everybody na manage. Nwere onye ozuru right now. So the last thing your partner need is abuse. Get lead into killing. So you can join this red flag, because before you know that man or before you know that woman, if for ya, again once no get change, or na ị ga-manage ya, or hell na ọbụrụkwa ka o si eme na ọ ga-abụ na o nwere ife mee na emesịa na ọ ga-adị mma. Then at the end of the day, otu awụ n'eji. So biko ncheta anyị nọ na Volt 104.3 FM. And the next question bụ maka ụmụ nwanyị. The next question bụ maka ụmụ nwanyị. I ga-ekwu okwu woke. Yes, I ga-ekwu okwu. The first time or the time woke bịa dị very popularly used bụ na 2020 mgbe eme EndSARS. Yes. So mechazie nụbazie ya amongst women. Ka anyị kwukene maka woke, otu sue metụta abuse in the home. A lot of women na-eme kama m ga-ana gbuo the man. Yes, some of them na-asị kama m ga-ana mgbara aka, because I'm na-efe na ihe ịgba aka bụ ife woke. Ụmụ nwaanyị ịmago this awareness of love yourself, do this and do that. Kama ị ga-akwara ngwongwo gị na jiri nwayọọ dowere onwe gị ndụ gị. Isi ka gị na nwoke nọ kwurubie, moreover I can take care of myself or I can deal with him. So biko ka anyị peke n'okwu woke otu so affect ya ụmụ nwaanyị nọ n'ezinụlọ dị abusive. At what point ka nwaanyị ga-awụsa ọwara? Ihe mean by awụsa ọwara bụ ịwụsa ma surname ma ego fili na ọ ga-enweta na the man nwụọ o nwere ụmụaka. At what point ka nwaanyị kwesịrị ịma na life ya dị at stake?
ịma na nke a ajụgo m ajụjụ a several yes I'm here last week in a program. The thing is ịma na when it comes to relationships and marriages is an individual thing. There are people even when you are advising on red flags they don't care until they become a victim. Yes, I vividly remembered my cousin. So mgbe ọ chọkwa ịnụ di agwasịa ya this guy na-abụ bifo ikwu ụkwụ sị gị shut up. And akwụọ gị ụgwọ sị na ọ chọọ ịma ihe akwụọ gị na ị ga-edil ụkwa with this and the person forget it na ọ nọ in love na love ga-sort her out. And this is like 10 years after. She's like, if you see her, she's so dry. In fact, she has been going through emotional abuse, neglect for the past 10 years. But because she feel, if she comes to tell us that her sisters and brother will blame her. You know that kind of thing. But we told you know that kind of but we told you. So she felt she have to bear this. And you see this work. I be promote some messages and baraka. And didn't name me home why buy. Or but then why na got through something say watch goody. Say be as a watcha kit here or cocaque. Mbano no man de qua possibly. We present doggy. Can't you even think the fact that name was something that you are known for? That's why I promote actually, what are you known for before marriage? Or the marriage, is it something you want to use as emotional, where can you feel lonely? To fight loneliness.
Emotional balance.
And let me just, so that I need this person. Because that is the motive behind it. And this thing that we do, until we sort it, I don't know how to put it, for you to find solutions to all these things, you start to dig it from the root. If somebody tells you all the time, you don't have to leave the marriage, and this guy is dealing with you. Because I've seen a part where a friend tells the lady to stay because the friend doesn't like the lady, but she doesn't know. So every time she comes to us, he said, I'm telling you, don't leave.
So they wanted the wrong advice from the wrong
yes,
person.
From the wrong person. So she kept staying till one of the eyes was removed during the physical abuse. She stayed in orthopedic for a long period of time. And the friend was not even coming. So the friend was taking care of the children. So goes home to take care of the children. So that's what she wanted from the beginning. So sometimes we use our sense. Okay, this man is not there for me. This woman is not there for me. There's physical abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, neglect, all manner that is happening. Ask yourself, would I be able to cope with this in the next 5 years? So we say God will change. Some go to mountains to pray. I'm not the Holy Spirit that changes people. So I have to treat it when we are still dating. I don't know how to control it. I can't cope with anyone that is abusive. So from as a, let me call it as a single, I started early to run away from it. Even when you scream, I say I don't want to cope with this.
Oh, turn off.
Because now as a lecturer before Nodi. So I was busy developing myself. So I don't win him if I be dasa. Because one of the reasons why the women are appearing it is the fact they are solely dependent on the man.
He wore a backbone.
So there is no other thing. So this is the man that does eventually everything. In fact, they don't even have any personal development, no skill. So some of them are so scared. Some other things may be, the business, or on your pan, may gain them, call your mego. Over time, you know, you can't get the money. So some women are not promote, don't leave, you have to stay, fight for your children, fight for this. Sometimes in children are survival.
Of course, no.
But when we hear everybody that you left will still survive. So there's some time it gets to ask yourself question. Even if it's not solely divorce, separate for some time to find yourself. There's what is called finding yourself. That's a time of giving yourself time to heal and reinvent yourself.
And then when my cousin of mine, I got through this whole thing. When an idea the man no, but fuck an channel, the man had abusive was Bob and a marriage with TBI. And the girl I got go through. This is her third marriage. Wow. And don't work in and the girl talk as you will not believe it.
Third marriage.
All no one kids in one cave, hancha abuse. Man, unfortunately, because it's a good thing, a baby is a good thing, or this zero in.
Okay.
So the abuse continues, or more than one pause more. kita ha separate go and the man na ebe ọ nọ outside the country because mgbe ihe a na-eme ha nọ Nigeria. So mgbe ọ decides to separate, the man mee papers ozugbo gawa obodo. And kita ife ka ebe ha na-akpa nkata. This separation helps. If ebe ha na-akpa nkata, nnọkọta nsị o post na status nsị ọ dịghị bi ya. Sị m nnu na ba sị m biko na ha ọ dị ka kita ka the sweetness bidozi.
Okay.
Well, see, that means you are trying to rediscover yourselves. Not the kuna much of who were bad the marriage.
Sometimes we can call it withdrawal therapy. So just withdraw. It happens in relationships. There are men, when you leave, their senses comes back. Because sometimes I'm not value until
they
we
lose.
So Hannah Chite said, this happened to my friend's marriage of recent. The guy determines everything that happens, shut down everything the lady is doing. And she's very good. Yes, go see her gay. This lady mental health is damaged. Or communicate. I don't know where cause orgaza and call manza. So here the lady may be wait contact him every night on that mo. Bob na the guy. No. What's there what to be doing? Or maybe so one of those days you see you have to go and report to women's affair. So I report. So what they did was they told her leave. She left back to her father's house during that period. But the one thing she did that I love, she left the babies with the guy, 2 of them. So they woke up in the morning, Daddy, where is mommy? Daddy, what do you call it? Daddy, we are ready for school, homework. The guy was running mad. Who is cooking? He can't do the cooking.
Okay, imagine.
And they went to school late the first day. The lady off her phone. 3-4 days, the guy started calling. Wherever you are, I beg you in the name of God, come back. But these are the things she's been doing without value. So he said, come back. The lady said, okay, I'm bringing you to court. If I have to come back, you will sign. I'm going back to my work. He has to sign. So she resumed just December. Her life is back. So what if she didn't give that moment of withdrawal so that the other will discover value? Because sometimes, because of over familiarity, so this one doesn't have value again.
And sometimes I wonder, how do people see that love woman they deprive woman from if love?
Okay.
Yes, like I like a main role radio.
Okay.
I guess na maybe do business. Na man no wanna shop. Ego gi ga-efukata. Ị ga-achọkata ego ga-achọ ego. Because nsị gị kịta na ife maalụ marụ bụ isu oyibo white collar job. Bịa tinye m na ime business. Probably amaghọ figures, amaghọ numbers. Ego gị ga-efu.
Ị
ga na-complain. Ego gị dịkwa, but I cannot calculate for it. Ịghọta. So sometimes ọ bụrụ also if that na your partner draw good in this thing, probably help or happier. It's not if I get make it happy. I'm going to be unstable.
Insecurity.